For this work, I wanted to mimic the movement of a school of fish in water. This is a piece in a 12-work series where I will create works of art using recycled, repurposed, or found materials. I was especially intrigued with sardines and how they moved together. Small fish like these are a significant food source for several larger fish species. Overfishing fish like these can cause ecological sustainability issues. As an avid fisherman, I want to wrestle with the idea that if we can make reasonable changes to help reduce the negative impact, why wouldn't we? I began with collecting cans of all types and trying to find ways to cut and connect them to make small fish sculptures. I wanted to make the fish out of something recycled, so I chose to investigate how I could do this using aluminum cans. The first iterations of the fish were not good, and I was pretty frustrated thinking I wasn't going to find an efficient way to make a good representation of a fish. After working through this process, I finally found a way to turn one 12-ounce can into 4 small fish. I began with cutting the ends off the can, using an X-Acto blade and a pair of scissors. I then cut the cylinder to open the sheet of aluminum. I trimmed the sides straight. I cut a long strip of about 3/4 of an inch off the side. I then cut the remaining sheet into 4 equal parts. I then cut the long strip into 4 equal parts. So now it's time to start putting the fish together. I began with folding the sheet over to make the main body. I then cut a slightly curved section out of the front. I saved this piece to use for the tail fin. Then I cut the bottom part of the body angled upward toward the nose. I will use these for the side fins. I then taper the back by cutting a downward angle. Be careful not to lose this one, as it is needle sharp and can easily injure. Finally, the bottom part of the body. I then bend the metal out to show bulge. You can also use a pencil or roll the metal on a corner to help it bend. I found this tape at the Home Depot. It was the most silver tape I could find. I cut small strips to use to close the fish body along the seam. I also used it for the tail fin. I placed and folded the tape over the triangular piece of metal. I then cut the tail fin to shape it. I attached the tail on the inside of the body and added a little tape on the outside to hold it. I attached the side fin with tape on both sides. The smaller piece of metal I used for the head of the fish, trimming it round. Once I place the head on, I trim the bottom to fit. I then use the thin strips of tape to close the seam. I compress the tape down on the table to remove any wrinkles. Finally, using a pencil, I indent some textures on the tail fin. I made over 100 aluminum canned fish using more than 25 cans. I cut jewelry wire to attach to the fish and secured them to it with Loctite extreme glue. Making sure the wire punctured the body of the fish, and using the glue, I never had any fallout. I needed a good backdrop for the fish and a good underwater view with the sun shining through the water. I started the painting on a 3 foot by 3 foot canvas. And using Winsor & Newton oil paints.